you didn't know what to expect going in. We had high expectations of winning and playing well and establishing the program. And I've said this all along, and I truly really mean this, in that I just really admire the way our team prepared week in and week out. We just didn't have the bad days from a practice standpoint. And I thought our coaches did a really good job. I thought our players did a good job of that. Being consistent from a preparation and a practice standpoint was probably the thing that stuck out to me the most. And, we're a young football team that battled. We had a chance in most of the games to win it in the fourth quarter, and that's all you can ask. But it was a lot of fun in the first year, and things went a lot smoother, kind of like I said in the opening statement. Things went a lot smoother than I expected. More glitches along the way, being a young team, first time. And I thought our coaches and our players did a really good job of preparing and being ready to play the game. And so I was extremely pleased with this year, and we left a couple out there that I thought we could have. We had a chance to win. We went. I think when we won the turnover margin, we were 5-1. So it just an emphasis on we got to win the turnover margin, and I thought our defense did a good job of hawking the ball. And there's some games we turned it over too much, but it was a good year from my standpoint overall. And I thought the guys, like I said, did an extremely good job of preparing each week.
I think the next step for us is just expanding what we can handle. I think there's a fine line between having too much in a game plan on especially my first year of what I've been able to run, and then having too little, and then where we can have enough and run it efficiently. So I think that's what we're going to try to do, is just expand what we can handle and kind of categorize it all so that it doesn't seem like such a big load when you're going into a game, so that you can pull out a lot of different concepts and run them well. So that's what this offseason is going to be about. I thought the year was amazing. It was fun to just learn how to play college football. But, what's encouraging to me on the season is that the ones we did lose, and it seemed discouraging at the time, it was in our hands. I feel like if we can just focus on what we're doing, I feel like we're going to be competitive enough to beat all those teams we played. So I think that a lot of the stuff that we can do going into next year is going to be dependent on, executing the right way. So it's encouraging to see what lies ahead is what I saw from this season.
I think the biggest expectation when I was coming in was just, I'm a real young player to the game, and I didn't really have any expectation. I just wanted to come out here and have fun with my teammates. And then when you see, as we progressed and we started playing these teams, and you see the ranking, and people are talking about the 3rd and the 25th in the nation and all that stuff, and then we play and we compete, it's like, well, we're not really that far off. And what I feel like is that we're going to be a really special team in the years to come, and I feel like that's the biggest thing that we're taking into next season, is that we're not going to be complacent. We're going to come, we're going to go hard, and we're going to do what we have to do to be better and be the best one day.
I think the number one thing is we've got to have a really, really tough off season. We've got to come out and work extremely hard. When the calendar turns January 1st, that's when it starts for your team for 2014, and that's when you establish your team for next year. And so we've got to continue to progress, build our football team from a physical standpoint and a mental standpoint. So off season, will be a tough situation for our guys. I mean, they're going to have to work extremely hard, and I expect them to, because they've done that since they got here. They've worked, like I said, they've worked extremely hard. They've done everything we've asked, and so that's the next step for us. Hopefully we get some more players in here in January. We'll infuse our roster like we did last January. We'll do it again this year, and then we'll have a new class coming in the summer. But our off season needs to be one of extremely hard work.
I think the biggest moment was that last drive against Gardner-Webb when they tried to go for the 2 conversion. And it was just, as soon as we saw that they didn't make it, just running off the field, and you just saw, like, the crowd and all the enthusiasm. Everybody was just so happy because, like, it could have gone either way. People didn't know. Like, there was so much emotion in the game, and just to come out with a win, I mean, it was the biggest blessing ever.
I got to say, same as him, Gardner-Webb, from an offensive perspective. Just because, 2 years ago this wasn't, and now it is, and people can see our potential. So we're here to stay, and we're going to be really good. I think we're going to be a really good football team.
Well, for me, it's probably two. Obviously, the walk down the tunnel the first week was a pretty emotional time for me personally. And the second time was when I stood out on the field and welcomed the seniors out. And then I got to watch the team come to the field from a different perspective. And it was pretty cool to stand out there, see those 6 guys that had invested in us and really said, hey, we're here to help you build, and then see the team come out with the flags, and because I hadn't seen that. So that was those 2 moments probably for me were the best. You know, a stat that I kind of looked at, I heard a few years ago that can really be an impact on you when you go into a season is how many starts do you have in your offensive line? And so I look at that group. I've been really proud of our offensive line and their work ethic, and they pretty much stayed healthy this year, and they got a lot of starts under their belt. So that's encouraging to me coming back, and a lot of those guys are going to be around here for a while. So secondary and offensive line is always the 2 groups that need a ton of chemistry, and a lot of those guys will be around each other for a long time to come. So that's encouraging from my standpoint.
You know, each week is, you know, championship games on Saturday, and I think that's the mentality that we need to have going into every game. I think the dynamic of moving to CUSA in 2015 is definitely going to change everyone's mindset, but from Monday to Saturday, we're really going to have to just kind of compartmentalize that and just grind.
I think the biggest thing about the competition change is that we all know what's expected of us, and I feel like we're just, like I said before, we're just gonna have to grind and just keep working because we all know what's expected. We all know how good we want to be. Like, nobody wants to come out here and lose. Like, that's not what we came here for. So everybody has the mentality that we have to, you know, come out and want to be the best in all aspects, in all phases. That way we can perform and just make everybody proud.
I think we're definitely going to want to spend time with family. I know Coach Durney's got an awesome workout sheet for us whenever we're not here, so we're going to take that home with us and stick to that. But I think, you know, when as much as your time is put into this, you want to go spend time with family. But it's mainly, and I know everybody knows that we're not gearing down at all. We're going into watching film and working out. So.
Yeah, I think all my teammates were telling us that it's going to be a special Thanksgiving this coming up couple of days. And I feel like I understand exactly where everybody's coming from. To be grinding from, you know, the summer all the way until now, you know, your body's kind of getting tired, you know, fatigue's hitting, but at the same time, we all know that we still got a job to do. And just because this season's over doesn't mean that we have to, you know, lay off. We still got to, you know, continue to do what we were coached to do, what we were told to do, and just continue to try to be the best that we can be.